I'll admit I was surprised that the Celtics went ahead and won game one of the finals. I had the Warriors winning game one. I thought Golden State would be motivated. I thought they would play with desperation because they wanted to establish themselves early in these finals. And the Warriors are very good at home. But give the Celtics credit. They dropped 40 in the fourth quarter. The ball movement and the shot making from the Celtics was insane. And I get where Draymond is coming from. You don't expect the Warriors to get out warriored. Basically, the Celtics look like Golden State in the fourth quarter. Ball and body movement created open shots, and they made the shots. A lot of times you get open shots, some guys just can't execute. The Celtics from Al Horford, Derek White, Marcus Smart, they put on an exhibition when it comes to shot making. And Jaylen Brown in the fourth quarter, he was the best player on the floor. This takes nothing away from the Warriors. It's game one. They lost, you move on. But I will say this. Most times in the NBA Finals, after game one, we're not talking about it's a must win. But Golden State, considering the stakes and considering how this Celtics team plays and the way they can tighten up and turn it into a grind, game two is a must win. You can't go down 0-2 to this team heading back to Boston and just assume you're going to return the favor and win 2 games in a row in Boston. I don't see that happening. I expect the Warriors to play with all kinds of desperation. I expect them to beat the Celtics to the 50-50 balls. I expect Draymond Green to be more effective. Look, he didn't play well overall in game one, but the Celtics have a sound strategy. They want to make Draymond a scorer. They're basically saying, you're going to have to get buckets to impact the game. They're playing him for the pass. And Draymond's going to have to score. He's got to be more aggressive. Now, Draymond is at his best when he can grab a rebound and do a hard push. Not only is he at his best, he ignites the Warriors' offense when they can play faster, when they can get shots before you set up your defense. So I expect him to try to push. I expect him to attack the basket more. I just expect an overall more aggressive game from him on both sides of the ball. And yes, they do need a better version of Klay Thompson. I don't know if he can give you the defender that he once was because he's just lost a lot of lateral quickness. But as a shot maker, I think that's still there. They're going to need a 20-point or more game from Klay. And Jordan Poole, if Jordan Poole can't be what he's been throughout the regular season and at different times in the playoffs, then the Warriors are going to struggle. He's not just another guy that can make shots. He's another shot creator. And they need him to be aggressive and to be at the top of his game. Yes, he can be a liability defensively. But when he's creating shots, when he's making shots, his explosiveness on offense more than offsets his defensive shortcomings. They need the best version of Jordan Poole on offense tonight. I thought Andrew Wiggins was solid in game one. If anything, I would have thought the way he played, he should have shot more. The only thing he didn't do well in game one was shoot the three. I think he was 2 for 7. Flip it around the other side. Look at the Celtics. They get that win and Jason Tatum goes 3 for 17. Now, I'm not saying he's going to come out and go 16 for 18 in game two, but I would be shocked if he wasn't much better than 3 for 17. I also would be shocked if he wasn't more aggressive in terms of trying to attack the basket. There are too many times on the floor when the Warriors are so small and you know there's no shot blocking, you have to be aggressive. You have to assert yourself. I expect a more assertive Jason Tatum, but at the same time, I'm sure Coach Udoka wants him to play smart. Same for Jaylen Brown, same for Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart at times can be that third scorer. As long as he's taking shots within the flow of the game and not trying to, let's say, be more like Tatum or Brown. That's not really what his strength is. He can make timely shots. His bread and butter is making plays on defense, setting up their offense, and putting Tatum and Brown and others into their best spots. As far as the bench players, Al Horford is just a pro. Everybody knows that. Rock solid. And underappreciated and underrated. Al Horford's a 5-time All-Star. And I think he's lived in the playoffs his whole career. If the Celtics were to win the title, what would that say about his overall resume and his legacy? I'm looking at guys like Robert Williams, Grant Williams, who didn't really play well. I thought Robert Williams was solid. Grant Williams had no impact on the game at all. But then you had Derek White. And anybody who knows Derek White or the Spurs knows he's a talented player. But coming to the situation he's in now in Boston as a fourth or fifth option or your first guy off the bench, I think this is the perfect position for him. I like Golden State to win tonight, but I still think Boston wins the series. Keys for game 2, I think it's pace for the Warriors. I think they have to play faster, get into their offense quicker, and find a way to get Jordan Poole some easy buckets to get his confidence going. Poole is a rhythm player. Once he gets started, he goes from being just a guy to being a monster, especially when he's in space and he can get downhill. Also, if Gary Payton Jr. is healthy, you got to get him in the game. He has the ability to impact the game defensively. He can match up with Tatum or Brown. Yes, they are taller than him, but he has the physical strength and athleticism, a lot like Marcus Smart, to match up against taller players. Lastly, as I've said before, Draymond Green has to put his imprint on this game. He has to find a way to be a productive player as a scorer, and he's got to be a disruptive player on the defensive end of the floor. For the Celtics, Jason Tatum has to establish himself, be aggressive, and maintain that aggressiveness throughout the game. You don't expect to get a combined 46 points from Derek White and Al Horford. So going forward, Tatum has to assert himself. The better he is, the more the floor opens up for his teammates and they get more opportunities. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the results of tonight's game 2. It's the NBA Cypher.